If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
You told me you were going to kind of hang back those two stages and just watch and learn what learned that helped you there in those closing laps.
Oh my God. It was learning how line didn't stay to and everything shifted.
Fantastic job.
Hi guys, this is CJ with the Patriot Nation podcast, and we are looking at Sleepy Joe Biden and some of the craziest stuff that's going on regarding Joe Biden. And matter of fact, it is so remarkable to hear people in unison yell F Joe Biden.
You can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Brandon.
Okay, so she basically was trying to cover for him, saying that they were saying, let's go, Brandon. I mean, do they think we're stupid or what? Give me a break. Man, the mainstream media, I tell you, they are, they're stupid if they think that we're going to believe that they were saying, let's go, Brandon.
There's a man who doesn't seem to know his name. He's also known as Sleepy Joe Biden. He's a strange man. He walks throughout the White House.
You've just crossed over into
The Biden zone.
No, they were saying F Joe Biden, and that's been happening across the country, and it's not just these crazy right-wingers who are living out in the woods way up yonder. They are people who are attending large fan gatherings at concerts, at college football games, at MMA events, at now NASCAR, and there is a large segment of the population that does not like what Joe Biden is doing. And they are responding in a way that some would say, yes, it's not respectful. Yes, it's something I don't want to hear my kids saying or hearing. But at the same time, it's less than ideal, yes. But at the same time, we have a president who is less than ideal. We have a president who is allowing boys to use girls' bathrooms, biological boys, that is. We have a president who is allowing biological boys to compete in sports against girls, such as my daughters and what have you. We have a president who is distributing funding, that is government funding, based on race or ethnicity of the recipient. We have a president who is disregarding our national borders. We have a president who is basically turning his back on America first. We have a president who completely ignores and disregards those who are patriotic people and who love the traditions of America. Yes, it's less than ideal, but that's what happens when the people feel oppressed, when they feel like they can't have a voice. I mean, so many different places. Think of social media, think of the workplace, etc., where people are being chastised, they are being silenced, they are being canceled for having an opposing political view or an opposing philosophical or even religious view than the left-wing tyrants and tyranny that's now going on in the United States of America. Something we never thought would happen, but something that great leaders such as Ronald Reagan warned us about. And he said, if America falls, there is no other place to go to.
Two friends of mine were talking to a Cuban refugee, a businessman who had escaped from Castro. And in the midst of his story, one of my friends turned to the other and said, "We don't know how lucky we are." And the Cuban stopped and said, "How lucky you are. I had some place to escape to." And in that sentence, he told us the entire story. If we lose freedom here, there's no place to escape to. This is the last stand on earth.
And that's why it's important that we must win in the arena of ideas and make certain that America continues to stay free, the land of the free. And that starts by us sharing and educating and encouraging those around us, family members, friends, spouses, girlfriends, boyfriends, etc., to remember what really made America unique and great. One of those things is our freedoms, okay, our sense of openness and willingness to tolerate a difference of opinion, okay? So I never was a huge fan of liberalism, I'll be honest with you. However, I could at least respect that they allowed for a difference of opinion. But that is no longer the case. That has changed dramatically. That has gone from being, let's be open-minded, let's be open to different views in different ways, whether they are silly or not, to, if you have an opposing view than mine, I am so insecure that I'm going to shut you down. And if I can't shut you down, I'm going to find a way to have a protest outside of you, your home, your business, or your place. I'm going to try and see if I can get your boss to fire you, etc. And that is gone beyond now. That is not liberalism anymore. That is totalitarianism. That is communistic, Marxist, okay? And it is something that we do not want growing and continuing to take place in America. So as patriots, we have every right to fight and resist this. Now, going back to the the NASCAR driver, okay, this guy, we didn't really get a chance to focus on him, did we? A crowd at NASCAR Talladega Superspeedway chant F. Joe Biden as Brandon Brown, that's his name, celebrates Xfinity Series victory, and NBC reporter thought they were saying, she didn't think that, they were saying, let's go Brandon. She was completely faking it. So profane chants, mocking Joe Biden broke out at Alabama's Talladega. Come on, guys. Let's go back to Kathy Griffin. Let's go back to Madonna.
Yes, I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
Okay, Madonna, I'm going to say what I could say, but she's not a respectable example of a role model woman. Let's put it that way. Let's go back to Johnny Depp.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
Okay, let's go back to some of these crazies, okay? And what do? Kathy Griffin, she held up a head of a bloody fake replica head of Donald Trump, okay, as if she had beheaded him. Okay, you have Johnny Depp that talked about killing the president. You have Madonna who talked about blowing up the White House, okay? And so people are a little ticked off because they're being silenced, and their way of life, the freedoms that they've had, or some of them, if it continues this way, will never be experienced by their grandkids because they will never know what it's like to have some of these freedoms. And it's all within the realm of Joe Biden's leadership of the United States of America. So yeah, people are pissed off. They have every right to be. NASCAR fans screamed F. Joe Biden in unison as the winner of Alabama's Talladega Speedway race gave an interview about his victory. The profane chant mocking Joe Biden broke out at the Alabama Talladega Superspeedway after Brandon Brown received the first NASCAR Xfinity Series race victory. That is his first one. Shortly after, Brandon gave his post-Xfinity Series race interview, telling a reporter his victory was a dream come true. Crowds in the stand loudly shout in unison, F. Joe Biden. Oh, gosh. Her name, Kelly Stavast, that's the NBC reporter, and she was conducting the interview. She recognized the chants and claimed the fans were shouting, "Let's go, Brandon." No, they weren't. They weren't. Let's hear this one again. Let me see. Do we have the clip on that?
You can hear the chants from the crowd. Let's go, Brandon.
We do. Anyway, that was a good one. So.
For the people who died, what would they be thinking? They think this makes sense for us to do this kind of thing where you ride down the street and someone has a sign saying F so-and-so, it's not who we are.
You're moving into a land of both shadow and substance, of things and ideas.
During the game with the presidential seal, prior to the game, Biden met with Pelosi and Senate Majority Leader Chucky Schumer in the Oval Office to discuss the future of his agenda. Pelosi scheduled a vote on the president's $1.5 trillion infrastructure package for Thursday, even though the far left of the Democrat Party has threatened to boycott if it isn't accompanied by a $3.5 trillion entitlement and tax hike package. Holy smokes. Have you heard some of the stuff, guys, that could be in this bill? that supposedly are. Well, I'll tell you one of them. One of them is a tax on driving. That's right. I was reading that they have proposed, I think it was 8 cents per mile would be tacked on to your driving fees. Okay, we already have taxes. What did Biden say the other day? He completely lied, by the way, as usual. It's par for the course for him. He said no new taxes, not by even a penny, will be added to those who make under $400,000 a year. He's lying. He's completely lying, because there are so many other taxes. There's gas taxes. There's now this driving tax. How they're going to monitor that, who knows? But for some people, that's going to be like another $2,000 to $3,000 a year, depending on how much you drive. Okay, that is a tax, and that is a rough tax on middle-class families and lower class as well, and all people who have businesses where you have deliveries and you have to oversee trucks and automotive deliveries and what have you. Those who are Uber drivers, come on, give me a break. 8 cents a mile on top of gas taxes, on top of your registration, and on top of your smog checks, all of this crap. I mean, give me a break. These guys are certifiably nuts. They have an appetite for taxes that never gets satisfied. The corrupt left, okay? We call them the swamp. So anyway, the dude is something else. He is a strange bird, a very much a strange bird. Sometimes we call him the Biden Zone. We really do. And what's that song, the Biden, the Twilight Zone, right? What is it? Here's it. There's a man. A dimension of sleepy Joe Biden.
You're moving into a land of both shadow to
the Biden Zone. Would make an ideal puppet. Really? He would make an ideal puppet. That's right, guys. So, okay. So this wraps up here our first segment. We are going to talk next about Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is going to be boxing Deontay Wilder, and it's called Fury Wilder 3, and that's coming up this next Saturday night, guys. This should be a very exciting bout coming up this next Saturday night. We'll talk about that in just a moment.